And why did you look up poisoning?
Just because it was an unusual looking amount of foam to me. And I'm curious if there was something.
Okay, I want to bring in a special guest joining us, board-certified forensic pathologist, Dr. Priya Banerjee. Doctor, great to see you. We just heard two things. One, the observations of the deputy coroner, but also what Chad Daybell told her was happening earlier in the evening. And I want to ask you, are these things consistent? And if so, what would they mean if she's coughing and vomiting and then seemingly better, goes back to bed, dies, and now the deputy coroner shows up and is talking about pink foam? Could they be consistent?
They could. I think you have to remember these are all non-specific, which means they don't point to one particular thing. And she should have followed her hunch, which is, this doesn't seem right. Why does she have a big foam cone? We do see that in drug overdoses, but she's historically not a drug user. Now, poisoning, that could be an alternate explanation. Heart attack, is there any head trauma? Or is it asphyxia? We often see lots of fluid from the nose and mouth in lots of cases, but also an asphyxia. And so, why was she vomiting? Well, is anybody else sick? Or, it doesn't all jive together.
Let's take a listen to a little more from the deputy coroner here, talking about other observations she made when she responded to the Daybells' home.
Her legs were stiff, coming in, I could think, okay, has passed away for a while. So because the way her legs were kind of on the bed and out straight, then she was covered up. So it just caused me to feel like, yes, she's been passed away for a little bit of time.
And when you talked about her body being stiff, did that indicate anything to you?
Yes, that had been passed for at least a few hours, maybe more. I didn't know how long, but it wasn't just recently.
Okay, let's bring back in Dr. Priya Banerjee. Let's put her observations together. Let's get rid of the coughing and the vomiting and just talk about the pink foam and her body being stiff. What does that tell you? What could it mean?
So again, the pink foam, non-specific, but she has no significant medical history, right? We don't think that we know that she was active. She's not on any significant medications, and that's what an autopsy's for. Also, why was she stiff already? If he woke up and found her dead, what's the timeline? But she's stiff, that means it's been hours. And ultimately, when things are unexplained, just get the autopsy. That's what it's there for. That is the ultimate deciding factor. That's my job. That's my colleague's job. And, that ultimately is the answer. And if you did it in the first place, you wouldn't have to exhume her and then do it 2 months later. So I guess hindsight's 20/20, but I really do want to say a coroner, although very knowledgeable, they're not doctors. And I feel like she was under immense pressure from the family not to do this, right? The husband, the daughter, they're saying, don't do it. And I think being in her shoes at the moment, I can see how that can happen, but really she failed at her job by not pushing for the autopsy.
I agree. Let's see what the jury thinks of all this. Dr. Priya Banerjee, so great to have you on the show tonight. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. We'll talk again. When we come back, we'll bring in our